Alrighty, what's going on, guys? It's the Array here. I'm actually super excited to be bringing you this video. It's going to be a crypto tips and tricks, specifically for Split. Split is definitely one of those maps that are very defensive heavy, so crypto I feel like excels very well on this map. The way I've been playing him is B-Site. B-Site by myself is my absolute love. It is how I am controlling everything in this goddamn town, and I'm gonna be bringing you some interesting coin spots, some camera spots, and maybe a little bit of tips on how to actually effectively, use his kit together, and not only be a roaming support, but frag out at the same time. Get yours. You gotta get yours. So first here, we got a lot of people who, everyone knows this corridor. Okay, it's B main coming to the B site. This corridor is very popular. Where does everyone throw their crypto coins?
That goes there.
Right here. Nothing special, Raze throws a grenade, you're gonna have a bad day. The guys slow walking, which they 100% are, at least up until like that point. They're gonna see it. This is what you would call a basic coin, okay? Nothing special, but let me tell you, that is lazy and not the kind of coin that's gonna be making plays for you, okay? So alternative to this coin here, I've found two coins that I absolutely love to use, and one that I feel like it doesn't get used as much as the other. So first, as crypto, garbage cans, barrels, basically anything with a circular surface is what you want to keep your eye out for. That's what you want to find when it comes to those little special tricky spots that no one might be using. So the first one here, just off this garbage can,
This goes here.
and it actually connects straight to the floor. This one is very useful in the sense that, first of all, if someone trips this, okay, it's not a simple shoot the wall right next to you. Okay, it's you gotta look really hard away. Okay, if you got people playing Heaven, you gotta look left to destroy it here. Otherwise, you see it on the floor here. On top of that, it's also way outside this zone here and super low, so it's possible that the enemy might come out jumping it. It depends on if you've used it a couple rounds already and they're kind of noticing it, but you'll definitely catch some people off guard for the first time in some of these matches. Sometimes I like to play this double coin when being B solo, I've really got to make sure I got it held down, at least when I'm playing with my squad, as well as if they 5-man, I want to be ready for that, and I really don't care about stalling. I mean, of course, that's my job. My cage slows and my coins tripwire and slow and all that stuff, but I really just want to frag out. I want to get the kills for myself. So I know most people, if not every single person, unless they split mid in this, are going to be like 5-man rushing through this. So I found a little sneaky coin here. On top of circular barrels and trash cans and stuff spread throughout the map, you want to look for corners of boxes. And by I mean corners of boxes, I mean this little bottom right here. Ooh, okay, so you see how 90 degree, I'm stuck on either side, but I find that little sweet spot. And lo and behold, you find this nice sweet spot, and it connects way over here. This coin I have yet to see anyone else use. I'm not saying it's the almighty coin or anything, but it definitely catches people because once you get on site, especially the main plays with people rushing through the tunnel, is they have some kind of smoke to smoke this off. Once they get past the threshold here, they really think they're safe. But what I really love to do while playing this B site is, imagine this coin's not here. That's a basic coin. We don't use those coins around here. Okay, those are disgusting. Okay, we're crypto mains. We're gonna do this shit right.
Goes here.
Trap and coin, the combo. I mean, I would call it the standard wombo combo for Cypher. It's just what you do. Wow, I just realized I called it crypto earlier. I used to play a lot of Apex. Okay, we'll move past it. And so I'll hang right around this corner, wait for some people to funnel through. As soon as they trip it,
Cage triggered.
you can right through the wall. Boom, press your cage. You can see them through it because they're tripwired. They're probably another reason why this tripwire is also even better than the other one, right? Let's say you have the same setup. They can see this wall where they need to shoot the coin, but with this coin out here,
This is a nice spot.
when they come through and you detonate, more likely than not, they're not going to see that side. They're definitely not seeing that side, so they're going to be confused as hell. They're going to be easy pickings, not to mention if there's 4 or 5 people coming right behind them. Well, there can only be 3, 4 people, but not to mention if they're, you know, the rest of the team is coming right behind them. You're going to have a nice little spray down. And then I like to use the second one as kind of like my secondary go-to. So, you know, they trip the first one, you get your 1 kill. Either you have it planted already or you kind of want to keep it just in case they're rotating A. I kind of do that sometimes where I don't have them both fully set since, you know, unlike the tripwires, you can't pick them up. But you have that second one, they trip the second one, you do it again, that's a free 2 for 1 if they end up killing you. You know, you get your 2 kills to 1, you're putting your team in a 4v3 situation. You're more likely than not going to be hurting a lot of other people in the background since they're going to be funneling through this tunnel. And ultimately, I really think Cypher and B-site just go together like bread and butter, okay?
That goes there. Yes, this should do. Oh, this is a nice spot. This goes here.
I see 1 pushing to B main, 2 going to B main, 3 B main, 4.
Alright, we're rotating.
Caught one. Cage trigger.
That's the rest.
Found. Cage trigger.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
I will sometimes put a coin either
This is a nice spot.
here to stop the cross if I happen to not be playing it or I'm somewhere else, or as well as here's a nice little spot as well because they do have to get at least onto the staircase, and I believe possibly this corner, not 100% sure right now, but you know, this is default. This is like where 99% of the people plant if they get control from this B main rush every time. I don't know if you know this or not, but this box is completely bangable. So, you know, me and my friends will call out default, spray that box, usually pick up a kill. What a second part to really holding this is not only coin placement and, you know, getting them with traps and such, but it's also the camera information. I would deem Cypher's camera the most
Cage trigger.
influential part of his kit. I personally come from a little background of playing a good amount of Rainbow Six. Really picked up Valkyrie. Valkyrie did a lot of things for the game. I really enjoyed Valkyrie as a character. She went through her buffs and her nerfs, but ultimately the information that you got out of playing Valkyrie was huge. This camera spot right here is definitely my favorite to use. There is a Sage boost here. I don't know if you guys are aware. I can definitely put out a video for a couple Sage boosts that me and my friends have found out. But there are a lot of videos out there. Right here, if you Sage boost, you can actually see into the top of garage. But my favorite camera that I found right now is a little cheeky spot right there. Okay, so let me show you. I'm gonna actually start the timer here. Start the timer so I can actually show you on the other side. But with this camera, not only are you able to see some good parts of B site, you know, you got your little heaven control, or not control, you can see into heaven, you can see balcony here, even a little bit into backside with behind this pillar, but not actual backside back there, and as well as under heaven. But the actual crucial information you get from this camera is over into the enemy spawn B main. This can be the difference between your entire team rotating fast enough or not. When you see 3, 4, 5 people funnel through that choke point, you know their plans immediately. You know they're all going to stack up in B main, maybe even split mid a little bit. But all of your A people can go ahead and shuffle on down through sewers, shuffle on down through A heaven, and come on down because they are all going to be hanging out over here. I'm going to just come right back here. So you can actually see me. Hello. Hi. You see me over there. No one's really going to be checking that, at least not right now early in the game. Here. But the main things that you're going to be spotting out is right through here.
30 seconds left.
People don't know this is actually kind of have a low-key wall, like an invisible wall to it, but it doesn't really matter. When you do Sage Boost, you can shoot right through it. It's really cool. But the camera, you're going to be peeping this whole entrance area. You can see it. You can't necessarily see the exact edge, but you can see there
10
is no
seconds
way
left.
for them to really sneak by without you seeing them. And from the other side, you can basically see the entire entranceway. So this is absolutely huge. I haven't really been seeing anyone else use this camera as well, and it's definitely my favorite camera so far. Huge information for my team. If I see 5 people, I'm throwing down both of these cages. I'm getting ready to do my little wombo combo, and I'm trying to make some plays for my team, win us an easy round. We all know how important defense is on split. Unfortunately, defense is basically everything, so every single round I can secure for my team is hugely important. B site, you can really put your camera almost anywhere. There's a lot of spots that you can get away with it and have your camera never ever seen. So for example, you can put your camera on a lot of these buildings outside the map to help you out, get a good look of backside in case you're making some kind of retake. These cameras over here, any of these cameras on the side, this backside here, are very good for retakes because you can get that free information on your enemies, know exactly where they are. You've got that building there, this building way out in the back to choose from. I believe you can also go up here somewhere. That's just a little bit further, even more tucked away. I've seen this little area, I've used it once. This cameras like this on this side are more for when you want to have the audio of B main. Audio is also very important to use. You don't necessarily have to see the people on the camera if you can hear them coming. When you hear 3, 4, 5 people stampeding through B main, it sounds like a rhinoceros stampede, like absolutely. And you'll definitely be able to pick them up from this camera. You also still can see a little bit of backside, and it's very tucked away. I doubt anyone who's trying to play the defense, or I'm sorry, the attack with the bomb here is going to be looking anywhere in that corner just to shoot it down. And we're going to move on to mid/heaven. So there's not a lot of things that you can do in this room here. Again, you want to look for those corners to kind of get a good amount of coverage. This is probably one of the best you're going to be able to find, I would say. It's still not the greatest since they can just jump right on top over here. But as far as this room goes, you don't really have a lot of options. You do have this trash can that I told you about, as well as this little propane tank. Definitely finding those circular objects, and you can see just the amount of options I now have extra, but it kind of sucks that it's only on this side of the room. However, it can be useful. Let's say you've had the mid control, you kind of have this side of the map, but you're expecting them to push from their spawn, so you want to cut this area off so you'd only have so much to watch, or any scenario like that. Let's use back up. I've also noticed, I don't know if I have any clips for you, but I've also noticed that even if an enemy trips a tripwire, if they trip the tripwire and you are able to pick you still are able to pick your tripwire back up, and you will regain it back. Now, this is very circumstantial in the sense that I don't know when this will give you a benefit every single time. There might be some times where you caught the enemy off guard, you pick up the coin, and you're still able to get the kill. However, it's a little bit risky. I believe you do lose the effects of the coin once you decide to pick it up, but you do still get it back for free. So you kind of get that information and you get the coin back for free. So that is something to think about and something to notate if you ever find yourself in that once in a blue moon situation. As far as mid goes, obviously the barrier will be right here, so you might need to put this on the very edge. Even with the barrier up, you are able to put the camera somewhere around the spot. I wish I could show you. I don't want to kind of skip to the next round though. But you are able to put the camera right up here in the corner for the quick information. However, it's no better than really just sitting here and trying to see, other than it being free. There are a couple spots in mid that you can try to hide your camera. Nothing really too much for coin spots. I have seen back here. However, it can get kind of foggy if you do it in the wrong spot, so it's a little bit tricky. Let me see where that is. Okay. A nice one is back here behind the sign. It's kind of wedged in there, you know, maybe even in there is nice for a quick one cam, but you kind of just want to get your quick information. You're not really expecting this cam to last too long. However, if it does, choosing a spot like there or that spot or behind the sign there could prove to keep your camera hidden for when you're checking it on flanks, on rotates, or things like that. And that's really it for mid. Coins I like to put, you know, sometimes you just stop them right there. You can't go anywhere across on this entire side. However, you can go apparently right here. So kind of block off the doorway if some people want to smoke this off, run to the right side. I also like to put a coin not down here, but up here just because it's a little bit higher. It is head level on this side, but it's further on that side to kind of peek in. So if they're, you know, close to here and they have to aim all the way over here to shoot it, it's a lot further than having to shoot it right here. A lot further, harder to see. So something that I've been testing out recently has kind of been either, you know, putting a smoke here, or even so putting it deeper in front. Just using one of them, not both. Putting a smoke, moving on to jump on top of the frog, crouch jump on top of the big frog, and you kind of get a little peek over top of the smoke. This is very good for players, you know, holding the angle through zip room, maybe holding the right side, or even being very ballsy and kind of just out and about here. I do want to show you what it looks like from their point of view, though, so I'm going to put this camera head level here so that you can kind of, you know, get real far out here and get the peek, but that's what your head will look like to them. So you aren't invisible. It's more of a catch them by surprise kind of thing. You do get a nice little view of them, but they do get the little top hat, and you know, Cypher's top hat is quite noticeable. Unless you've ulted, then this is the spot for you. If you ulted already, you need to come to this spot every time. It's a free ace. I mean, who are we kidding? Okay.
Cage triggered.
Okay. As far as heaven, there are some pretty cool things. Alright, so this is a little one-way that I saw in a game one time, and I've kind of found a little lineup that you can try to get it every time. Since if you're going to be trying out these one-ways, which Cypher also has the advantage of being able to pre-place his smokes and kind of activating it whenever he feels like it. So, you know, you can do this, you can pre-place this before the round even starts.
Cage triggered.
Because, you know, obviously this area is accessible. If you are playing A, I don't really use this too often because me and my squad, I'm a B player every single time on this map. But if you are, you know, you find yourself to like playing A with Cypher, you know, by all means, you do you, to each their own. I've found this little nice one way. So you line up with the box here. You look at this white line that's in the middle. Let me get it off for us. Okay, you line up with this white line, and you just come down to this very next line that goes all the way across. And from there, throw it out, and it's going to land right there every single time. I'll stand here for a second. So you line it up, aim it right there, and every single time it's going to land right there. And what you want to do with that, I would recommend playing this on the left-hand side. But what you want to do with that is, you know, when you get the call from either you know it from your information, or, you know, you get a call from your other teammate, you hear them coming, whatever the reason, you know they're all coming A ramp. Activate that smoke, peek down, and now you got this perfect view on them that they do not, well, they kind of have a similar way on you. And let me explain that, right? You're coming in on this side from the enemy's perspective. It's important to know what the enemy can see at the same time as what you can see. A lot of times, if you can see the enemy can see you. However, that's why the purpose of one ways is to kind of actually change that, where you can see the enemy, but they have no clue or are unable to see you as well. So from their point of view, if you're activating that one way,
cage triggered.
Okay, they can still see you perfectly right there. They're gonna come up, they're gonna see you crouching right there, the same exact way that you see them, right? However, that same one way, once you've let the enemies come up this platform,
cage triggered,
they're gonna have a much harder time seeing you. A much harder time. So I say play that left side, because for people coming up the ramp, if they do happen to be checking that, since that's all they can really see anyways, okay?
Cage triggered.
If they're coming up the ramp and they check it, and then they're swinging across, first of all, you're gonna have the first peeker's advantage. You're gonna have the first dibs, you know, holding this angle from that side. So you're gonna either knock anyone off who stays on the platform and is peeking you from there, or secondly, and even better scenario, the enemies ignore it. run up to this platform where they actually have no chance of seeing you anymore, and at that point, they're easy pickings. Okay, so once they run up, yep, they have no chance of really seeing you there at all, but
Cage triggered.
you'll still see their feet just fine. This entire area, you'll still see it from corner to corner. So you got complete control of that. Now, I mentioned earlier about getting that information, whether it's from a teammate or from your own camera. The cameras that I tend to use on this A site, if I'm even over here, the actual probably best one is the same place people kind of use their Sovas. If you just throw a camera onto this sign here, I hate when this happens. There we go. Run and jump. You gotta sacrifice a little jump for it. But if you throw a camera right here, you get access to the entire lane. The wall would be right here stopping them. You might get your camera destroyed right away, but the cameras like this are not meant to be used for, you know, the entire round. They're kind of meant for that first round, you know, start of the round information where, hey, they're 5 stacked on A right now. You guys need to rotate into mid. They're stuck here, basically, you know? All right, this one right here, inside, so you can see through the windows into long. You can see when people cross over. You can see when they start pushing out, and your camera's like basically 100% safe. A ramp camera, you can definitely throw one past it onto this box over here. And there you can see a ramp while being sneaky deaky. Alrighty, and after all that, there is one more one-way smoke that I do want to show you guys, specifically for Cypher. I don't know how you would really get any of the other characters to do it, at least not this way. You will have to wait for the barrier to go down here, but this is the lineup. So you come over here to this line, match up with that on the wall, okay? And then there's a bunch of stains over here. You're going to be looking for this little circle stain right here. So just to give you a closer look, this guy right here, you know, you see main patch 1, main patch 2, this little bottom one here. You're looking for this area, and right on this dark spot on this bottom side, and you throw away, and you got your little land right there. And what this one way is for is not for this, not to be played on the right side, but actually once you throw the one way, you're going to be moving over to the left side of the A long, or if you have a friend playing there already, you're going to have that ready for him. And what you can see with this one is this entire underside, not all the way, this gap is still here, but you can see the underside of them trying to cross, and you are able to get some op picks. So that's going to actually conclude it for my split tips and tricks. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you saw some good uses, maybe inspired you to find some other spots. You can definitely use these spots. I wish I saw more Cyphers using them, because I really don't see a lot of Cyphers really utilizing his kit to his potential, really getting creative with it. And a big part of this early game is just seeing who can get creative with these characters first on. So that's my take on the split defense. And peace out.